Good afternoon, ma'am, and good afternoon, my friends. My name is Febrina Genesia Sianipar, meaning PM101030116. I'm from Group 4, Group 10. Today I will presentation about culture, class, teacher, and students, identities, and the processions towards freedom. The chapter 1 is teacher and student attitude toward teacher feedback definitions. Writing has always been considered one of the important skills contributing to student language learning. This is particularly so because in almost every course there is a writing element of some kind. Despite the presence of writing in almost every element of the language course and the abundant amount of time students spend on writing, many students have expressed their concerns about not being able to do it well. There have been many attempts to help students to improve their writing quality and increase their motivation for writing. Facts. One important attempt is by providing feedback in fact conflict. Maintain that the provision of feedback on students' writing is a central pedagogic practice. Often at L. Most writing courses in the English department at Sensai Pancana Christian University writing to Unity Writing for course allocate time for providing feedback. The writing classes mostly follow some formal students are given a chance to write the first draft and then bring it to the class feedback. It usually given of the first draft by the class teacher and or the peers. Afterwards, students revise the draft based on the input they have revised from the teacher and or their peers. It to be noted that auto feedback can come from the class teacher and the students' peers. Teacher feedback continues to consider of utmost importance. This can be seen from the times allocated for the teacher students conferencing on site the classroom, which often takes twice as long as the scheduled class hours. The chapter 2, the study definitions, the study methods. Logically, the study employed a combination of quantitative and qualitative approach. The respondents to the questionnaire study comprised 100 students and 30 teachers. The student respondents were selected based on the those who have taken all the writing course in the department. Students who have completely all the writing courses were considered to have experienced a wide variety of teacher feedback. Participants in the interviews include 21 students and 10 teachers. Both students and teacher participants were asked approximately identical questions in order to compare their views and beliefs regarding teacher feedback. The interviews were conducted to find out specific information on the teacher and student attitudes and preference toward the practice of giving and receiving feedback. In addition, the interview was useful as a cross-reference and to clarify the response obtained from the quiet situation. 2.2 is research and discussion, teacher and student opinion about teacher feedback. This section discusses teacher attitude towards teacher feedback. Figure 1 shows the data collected from teacher and student questionnaires. 6. All of the students and teachers interviewed agreed the teacher feedback to some extent, was very important in improving students' writing. The following were some reasons mentioned by the participants for favoring teacher feedback. A. Teachers have higher linguistic competence in English. The most common reason for preferring teacher feedback is the opinions that teachers have much higher language competence than the students. This can represented from comments when responding to the questions, do you think teacher feedback is important? I think it is very difficult for students to improve their written English if they don't have a good teacher feedback. I don't think just by reading the newspaper, I don't think that will help you. I don't think it is an effective way to improve your English, and then it might help a 50 fit bit, but if this comes to your own writing things, we need peer feedback or teacher feedback, but there has to be someone who has a higher level than you, and that's why I think peer feedback is useful, but teacher feedback is more. A teacher feedback can be more useful because you assume teacher has a better grasp of grammar, better grasp of word choice, but it does depend on the teacher's remark indicate a strong opinion of the critical role of teacher feedback in improving the students' writing. The stock teacher feedback is most useful because of the assumptions that teachers have better grasp of grammar and word choice. A similar idea was also seen from TL4 and TL5. You underline in the opinion is the view of the importance of from or linguistic of competence in the development of writing. Out of the 21 student interview, 7 expressed similar views, yet not all student interviewed were certain that teacher feedback on grammar is trustworthy. During the interview sessions, SL1 and SL2 as a stance that we did not follow teacher feedback on grammar blindly, yet they proceed in the friend. The reason for this, for SL1, he did not follow teacher feedback because based on his experience, teachers still make mistakes in grammar. Later in the interview, I learned that by teachers, he meant local teacher. He believed the feedback from native speaking English teacher was more reliable than feedback from the non-native speakers. He assumes that due to their nativeness, native teachers were better in giving feedback in all aspects of English. As one else views were shared by other students as illustrated by the following comments taken from the question. There is I very much prefers to have native speakers to correct my writing. I believe in their ability more than the native since English in their language. Not only do native speakers have excellent knowledge in English, but they also know the correct way and the use of vocabulary. When a non-native teacher corrected my paper, and then when I give it to the native speaker, I found there are many mistakes haven't been corrected by my non-native teacher before native speakers teachers. Now, how to make a writing follows naturally. It is their language anyway, regardless of the claim that English should be everybody's language as it is the current global language. The teacher and student participants continue to believe that English is native speakers' language. B. Teacher feedback provides security for the poor students. The second assumption for considering teacher feedback as the most essential is the opinion that teacher feedback provides security for the students. This is expressed By that question, why she was sure that students, especially the weaker ones, might be embraced, said to have their writing corrected by their friends. To some extent, her opinion showed as awareness of the concept of faith. Too, in Asian countries, in collective countries such as Indonesia, it assumes that faith is considered as the primary value cutting. Surprisingly, that question why belief is indeed contrary to what the students felt. As one term categories as a writer did not see peer feedback as faith. The training is fair and thought peer feedback has helped him away. That teacher feedback did not try during the interview. As one ten explains that when teacher feedback was confusing, he always found friends to clarify the teacher feedback. He did not mention the concept concurrence brought up by that question while despite the fact and was a poor student similar to S110, S117 felt that it was peer feedback which provided security, not teacher feedback as the said during the interview. When I received teacher feedback, I felt a little bit stressed out. Like degree, I preferred peer feedback because I could include more relaxed like chatting during the consultation sessions. Later, I always felt the wearer judging me, especially if I made some stupid mistake like grammatical mistake that I should not have made. Embrace said, but I never felt like the way my friends gave me feedback. Similar to the cultural belief that teachers are the sort. The third reason for preferring teacher feedback, as stated by sectoral students, is the belief about teachers being the source of knowledge. TL6 and SL6 over a critical reason for this. They took the reasons for the assumptions that teachers are knowledgeable was mostly cultural. Teachers control. Grade the fourth reason students preferred teacher feedback was that they were aware of the control teachers have over their grades. Okay, thank you, okay. It's finished my presentations, my group. Okay, thank you, ma'am, and thank you, my friends. Goodbye and see you.